Ooh, that doesn't sound good. A little bit out of tune here. Let's fix this. I got a built-in tuner in this thing. Not that ever works. I've got. It's not. My batteries died in my on my guitar. This is compelling, isn't it? Almost. Too high. Sounds like it's almost there. This is like my life right now. You know, you think it's all ready, but it's not. I have decided I would, you know what? I just had to get out of the house today. Because I don't know. I had to get out of the house and I wanted to go to church. I woke up and I want to go to church. And I don't know if you're feeling the same way. I mean, part of me hopes you do. But I wanted to go to church. And so I thought I'm just going to come to church and I'm going to set up my little pre-service thing, which has like 40 or 45 views every week. I don't know who's watching this or why, because I just started doing it out of habit. So I just felt like I wanted to do it here. I'm going to watch the church service. That we have a nice little service for you this week. I think we have Angela's back singing. She'll be back with us for the whole month for June. We've also got some lay readers who we normally wouldn't have had because they were here to help clean up for cleanup day. And I thought, well, I'm just going to set my camera up under a tree and I'm going to accost people and have them come over and read the different worship bits. And they did. So we got that. I'm excited about that. So you'll see some people you haven't seen in a while. And that's been my goal throughout this whole crazy thing, is for you to see people you haven't seen for a while. So that's happening this week. I'm trying to think about the service, about what else we did. Oh, we did other little things here and there. We'll see how it goes. This is an ambitious week for us because we're going to record all the lay reader parts and all the music in 1 week for the whole month of June. And that's going to be, that's going to be a lot of work, but I want to get it in the can. I want to get it done. Because once it's done, then I can concentrate on other parts and getting ready for holidays. Because holidays are coming up, folks. Trina's going to be going on holidays. She'll be here 1 day a week to kind of look after things, man the store, as it were. I'll be on. We're going to have 5 weeks where there's not going to be one of these crazy services. Normally we'd have a guest organist in while Paul was away. We would have guest preachers in while I was away. And that's the way summer would go. And I actually look forward to that for a few reasons. One, because I think it's good for you to see other preachers. I do. I think it's good for us all. It's good for me too. That's for sure. It's good for me to go to other congregations and see what they're doing. So that's why I like having preachers in. And my goal is to get good preachers. I think that you are best served by having preachers come in who are better than I am. I do better than I am. It's also subjective, right? It's not a competition either. But having you need to see. I think people who do really good jobs, because when you do, oh, my guitar is actually going to blow off the table. When you do, you mention it to me. Well, this person did that. This person did that. This person did the prayers this way, and we really appreciated it. And I'm like, well, that's great. I can maybe, and I've integrated some of those things into my practices because we've had people come in with new ideas. That's the way it should work. So anyway, that's what we normally would do. But this year we're not going to do that because, oh my gosh, who's just the logistics of having to teach somebody how to record and upload and edit and all that stuff. It's just, all right, we'll take the hit. We'll take the hit and we won't have a service for 5 weeks. Well, it's not entirely true because there's going to be regional services you can tap into. They're going dark for a couple of weeks as well. But there's so many United Church services online right now that I want you to watch them. Maybe you already are, and that's good too. But if you I'm going to send out links to ones that I think are different from ours that you might benefit from seeing, and we might benefit from you giving us feedback about. So that's going to be holidays. So that means I do it in a weird way because I don't like to be gone the whole month of August because I like to have a few weeks where I'm back to kind of ramp up for the new year. And because it always feels like a new year. September always feels like a new year. So in this year, if we're allowed to come back for communal worship again, after everyone gets their second doses and all that stuff, and we will come back somehow, some way. And I got to figure out how that's going to work and what's best. Because I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like this. In my dreams, in many cases, I've had all sorts of dreams about church. Look at my Facebook page, because boy, I've had dreams about church. But I imagined for a long time that coming back would be this giant party. Everybody would rush back in. I had visions of barbecues with our Seventh-day Adventist colleagues and our ACMO, Association Chrétienne Mont-Olivet, congregation that worships on. So I had visions of us all being together, a big barbecue, big party, woohoo! Everyone just having a ball, and it'd just be like old home week, but like amazingly so. People hugging and embracing and hooting and hollering and cheering and singing all the old favorite hymns. That's what I imagined it would be. Followed up by a buffet at my favorite Indian restaurant. That's what I really imagined things would be. But not so much anymore. As it gets closer and as I talk to people, I think we need to be a little bit more gentle about our re-entry into communal life. I don't think it's going to be a big giant part. I mean, it might be for some, but I don't know, not for everybody. And if we come in, like just sort of like gangbusters and expect everyone to be on the same emotional page, expect everyone to feel confident that we can gather in larger groups again and celebrate and embrace that and all that kind of stuff. I think what we're doing is we're projecting our feelings on others. And I don't want to do that because I really think that we need to be as careful as the most careful person in the room. We are as vulnerable as the most vulnerable person among us. That's what Jesus calls us. Jesus is all about reversals. The first will come first. The first will come last. The last will come first. And whatever you do for the least of these, you do the same for me. Like all of that. I mean, that means that if there are folks who come back and they're nervous and we're all huggy and handshaky and we're all like, singing our brains out really close to each other and all that kind of stuff. And I think what we're doing is we're not being the church. We're not being compassionate and sensitive to the way other people feel. So when we do come back, I'm going to have to restrain myself from running up and hugging y'all and shaking your hands and singing part of the family into your faces. Like I'm going to have to do that. And some of you are going to have to do that too. And others are just going to have to take their baby steps back. There might be some folks who don't come back right away because they want to see how it goes. Can't blame them for that. I'm with you. There might be others who will say, oh, you know what? Flu and cold season's coming up. I'm just going to stay home for the winter and I'll just worship at home. Others might come back and want to wear a mask for a year. That's okay. That's okay too. I will feel that too, because I feel like, I have been programmed to think that people are yucky and that surfaces are yucky and I don't want to touch people. I don't want people to touch me or be too close to me as social as I am. So, I get that, and you get that. So, but anyway, I just wanted to be here today. So I'm out here. I'm going to show you around a little bit. We've done a lot of work, and I'm sitting out front. Ooh, the church grounds. The I don't know what happened, but our benches got dislodged from their moorings this winter, but they're back. And the trees, the maples are just gorgeous. And I want to play around with some video underneath those trees, maybe on Tuesday. And there's my van and just the front of the church. And the internet connection out here is actually really good. I'm really impressed. I mean, I don't know what happened at the annual meeting, but boy, I tell you, this is working just great. So it's been rock solid all morning. So I'm out here, and I'm going to be here for the Zoom coffee hour after church today. Join us for the Zoom coffee hour, please. The links are on the YouTube video for the service. We got the same group of people that almost every week, which is great because I love seeing them. But I'd like to see some other people too. So if you feel like it, drop on by. We don't meet for a whole hour either. This week's service is 51 minutes long, so that means we'll be done at about 11:21. And we do our little coffee time for till about 11:45, and then we stop so that we can have lunch. And that's how it goes. So I'm going to sign off right now, and I'm going to head over to the church service on YouTube, even though I'm at the church. What a world we live in. And that's enough of that. How do I stop it? There we go. I always stop at Chuck